What's up guys, Robert Optimal Bodies. Now this one is about knowing what the hell we should be eating. So there's that many different diets out there. Paleo, vegan, vegetarian, keto, carnivore, carnivore-ish, animal-based, if it fits your macros, one ingredient food, whatever it may be. There's a lot of confusion. So I'm trying to simplify to come up with a remedy of knowing what belongs in your body. So a good rule of thumb, which I've come up with, is to know whether something belongs in your body is to go back millions and millions of years of our human evolution. So think about it really logically and use the common sense approach. Why do we have an appetite? You probably haven't even asked yourself that, and it's a really weird question. We have an appetite to tell us when to eat. So it's like, how does a baby know when to eat? It doesn't get told, right, go eat now. The baby will cry, let you know I'm hungry, okay? We get hunger signals. We've got hunger and satiety. So appetite is there to tell us when to eat. That gets shut down with the feeling of fullness. Sometimes you might feel a little bit sick, or that food just doesn't feel or seem appealing anymore. And that is your satiety. That's when you've eaten enough. So what we want to do is we want to target foods that are going to fit that narrative. So what I mean by that is, say you eat a sandwich and a bag of crisps and a cheeky donut for lunch. 2 hours later, you're feeling peckish again. You might have a biscuit and a brew just to put you on till your tea, and then you have, even if it's a homemade meal, you might have, God knows, pasta, spaghetti bolognese, whatever it may be. And that's fine, but be honest with yourself, and is that food working with evolution? Is it helping your appetite and your satiety? What I mean by that is, when you start eating that food, does it gradually start filling that hole in your stomach, basically? Does it gradually start satisfying that hunger which you had in the first place? So a good example is, open a bag of Doritos on a night. Can you just have 1, 2, 3 or 4 of them and then put the bag away, put it in the cupboard, whatever? Those type of foods seem to trigger this more going on. So you're getting this positive feedback loop. Whereas if somebody got a load of boiled eggs in a bowl and they had 1, then 2, they'll gradually start tasting less and less appealing. And that's how it should be. If we go back to the evolution common sense approach, you should get what you need from the food, and then you should have signals saying stop eating, I'm full. Whereas unnatural foods, these hyper palatable, which they're designed to be like that, these ultra processed hyper palatable foods which have the perfect bliss point of salt, sugar, fat, artificial sweeteners, whatever it may be, it's perfectly combined, engineered by scientists to make it addictive as possible. So if you're getting a drug-like response when you start eating like a donut and you can't stop eating, then it's probably not looking good for our health. So let's bring it all back. What the hell should we be eating? So I think a lot of people say everyone's different, but I think that is very, very overstated and overrated. If you look at DNA, genetically, we're all extremely similar, which means that we've all evolved from the same evolutionary human being, whatever you want to call it. We've all developed into this Homo erectus type being. So what do we do with that? We target, to start with, proper, real, single ingredient foods, which sounds stupidly simple, but if you're aware of how you should be feeling when you're eating those foods, then it can help the transition, it can help you make the right decision. So I want you to do this test if you're still with me. Pick a food that you know is healthy. Now I say that because some foods people think are healthy and they're actually not, and vice versa, but something really obvious that you think, right, if I want to be healthy and lose weight and go on a diet or whatever it may be, then I'll probably start eating more of this food. So pick that food. Eat as much of it as you want until you are full. Start eating it when you actually get hungry. So start playing and working with your actual physiology and your hunger and satiety signals. Don't just eat because it's a certain time of day or because somebody's told you to eat. Ding, the bell goes, it's dinner time, we have to eat. So really be very subjective and see how that food makes you feel. Does it make you want to overeat? Are you hungrier after you've eaten that food than you were before you even eaten it? So hopefully you pick the right choice and you're not. So you're hungry, you eat that food gradually gets a little bit bland, you don't want to eat anymore, you've had enough, and you can get on with your day. Okay, so if you can identify those foods and get a list of them and then start putting meals together, then you can start to naturally cruise down to your ideal body weight and your body fat percentage. And how does that happen? That happens because you're eating the right food for your body. Okay, so you're giving it exactly what it needs and not too much that you gain fat. So we'll take an example of if you start eating loads of donuts and you get this positive feedback loop to eat more, calories are going to go boom, 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 boom. Say you eat some boiled eggs and compare the calories that you would eat in that. So eat a load of donuts until you can't eat anymore. Eat a load of eggs till you can't eat anymore. Compare the calories. I guarantee you that the eggs are going to win. Your calorie intake for how satiated you are, that is the key. So it's satiety per calorie. So how many calories did it take for you to get full? The eggs are going to be a lot more less calories than the donuts. It sounds stupidly simple, but when you put it like that, you can start to have control over what you put in your mouth, and you can start to make the right decisions. Every human being is in control of what they put in their mouth. No one's pinning you down and forcing alcohol, pizza, bread, crisps into your throat. You make that decision. You buy the food. You pick it up. You put it in your mouth. So, and it is tough because it is supposed to be addictive. That's what it's for. The manufacturer has one thing in mind, and it's not your health, it's profit. Once you have this control, you'll feel so liberated. You won't get blood sugar swings up and down. You won't have this hanger feeling and tied to food, like you just can't stop eating it once you open this bag of crisps or whatever it may be. You can start to work with your own physiology, and that's how it should be. Like a baby, they cry, they get fed, they nod off in a milk coma, they're happy. They'll cry again when they're hungry. So, but we have to allow these hunger and satiety signals to come in. You can only allow this if you're putting the right fuel in your system. We're designed to eat a certain diet. Like a lion in the wild eats basically one thing. Dogs have to eat the same thing. We all know if you feed a dog the wrong food, it gets sick. There's signs up at the zoo saying, please do not feed the animals human food, they will get ill. They get human diseases. They shouldn't be called human diseases, but these chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, heart attacks, strokes, dementia, these things that we get, if you feed if you feed your dog what you probably eat, your dog gets sick and ill. So we need to look at ourselves as that we have an optimal human diet, and there's certain things that should be put in our body and there's certain things that isn't. And the best way of tracking that is using your hunger and satiety, and that will tell you. Long story short, I can blabber on, but I like to get into the detail and the weeds of it all. If you put in the right thing in your body, you can really listen to those hunger cues and you can stop eating without overdoing the calories, and you'll naturally cruise down to the body weight that you should be at, and you'll be happy, healthy and liberated. Rob Optimal Bodies signing out.